ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्त। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आविश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। So welcome to all of you for today's talk on the importance of studying Śāstra and especially the Sandarbhas of Sri Jiva Goswami. We as human beings have a special faculty of communication or transferring knowledge. We can speak and convey our thoughts, our ideas, and this is something which is very unique to human beings. And obviously, because this is a unique faculty available to us, it also has a unique purpose. There are two things in this world. One is called right, another is called the duty, which means that we have certain facility and then accordingly we have certain responsibility. In a corporate world or even any organization, there is hierarchy And those people who are on top, they generally have more facility than those who are below. The CEO of company gets more salary, more facilities, more powers, but this is because he has more responsibility. So power or facility goes along with responsibility. So we human beings have this power, this facility, this speciality of acquiring knowledge and transferring it. But then we also have a responsibility to use it for our benefit, for the benefit of others, as well as the nature. In Bhagavatam it is described that Bhagavan, he created various species of life, aquatics, trees, animals, birds, but he was not satisfied. Taistair atushta hridaya purusham vidhaya brahma vilokadhishnam mudamapa deva. That after creating all other species of life, he was not happy. But when he created the human body, purusham vidhaya, so then he attained joy, mudamapa. And what is the reason for that? Because Brahma Aviloka Dhishnam. That this is the form in which human beings or this species or this form has the dhyana, which means the intelligence or intellect, by which you can understand Brahman or the truth. Because Creator, he created, but if nobody can reciprocate with him, it is not satisfactory to him. In the Upanishad it is said that sa ekaki narante ekoham bahusyam, that he was alone and then he did not feel happy with that, so he created that I want to be many. But creation does not mean that you create trees. It's just like if you are on this earth planet and there is no other human being, let there be other species, how happy would you feel? You have the whole world for you. People compete to acquire property, land, and you have everything, but will you feel happy? No, because there is no one to talk to, no one to communicate with, no one to reciprocate with. And this is one of the problems in modern times, that human relations are not very deep, so people don't feel satisfied. This communication is one of the need. But it is not just that we can communicate with others, it has a higher purpose. And as Bhagavatam says, Brahma Avaloka Dhishnam, that this intelligence which we have, it is for understanding Him. That's His real purpose. We can use the intelligence to understand nature as the science is doing, but that's not its real purpose. And therefore, we don't get fully satisfied with that kind of knowledge. There's so much knowledge available and people are still ignorant. But the Upanishad says that you should have that knowledge, acquiring which nothing else remains to be known. In the science we see that no matter how much knowledge we get, we seem to be lacking a lot, and we have more and more wish to know things. So, yasmin vigyate sarvam vigyatam bhavati. This is the question which was asked by Svetketu's father, Aruni, who has gone to study. And when he returned after 12 years of education, the father asked him that, have you studied that by knowing which everything becomes known? And the son said no. So he says, then your education is not complete. So from this we can understand that the education of modern people is not complete, because that is what they really don't study. And it is also people's experience, no matter how much knowledge you have, you don't feel that you have perfected your life. But if one understands the ultimate reality, Bhagavan, then there is fulfillment in life. That is Purnam. And this is the final instruction of Sri Krishna when he was teaching to Uddhava. He says that this is the real purpose of buddhi. Esha buddhi matam buddhi manisha cha manishinam yat martyam martena nretena mam apnuyat ritam. That this actually is the real intelligence of intelligent person. This is the true wisdom of the wise person, that with this material temporary body one can know me and attain me, because he is attained only by knowing him through bhakti. So this human form is very rare, that we have studied in Śāstra repeatedly. Durlabham manasodeha anityam api arthadam. Prahlad says, Durlabham manusam janma tadapi adhruvam arthadam. That it is adhruva, it is anitya, but it can give us the ultimate artha, the ultimate purpose of life, this human body. But if we do not utilize it for that, this opportunity, labdhva sudurlabham bahusambhavante manushya marthadam anityam api dhira. So bahusambhavante, after many births one gets the human body, therefore it is sudurlabha. And if one does not use it to know the ultimate, to attain that, then one has wasted life. Turnam yatetana pateda anumrittu yavat yavan nishreyasa vishya khalu sarvata syat. So we use our faculties, our power, our energy only for acquiring sense objects of this world. But that's not a great achievement of life, and it does not satisfy us, because we are conscious beings and material objects are inert, and a conscious being cannot get satisfaction from inert objects. That is a fact. And the Supreme Conscious is Bhagavan, because other conscious beings also cannot give you, because they are also lacking it. So therefore, the real purpose of this human body is to have education about the Supreme Tattva. Otherwise we remain dissatisfied. But the unfortunate thing is that even those people, their majority of the people do not understand this, so therefore they do not even try. But then there are others who somehow come in the association of devotees, spiritualists, religious leaders, and they understand and then take to spiritual life. But they also do not achieve success. This is the practical reality. Just yesterday I got an email. I get such emails regularly, that I have been on this path for some 30 years and I'm chanting. I used to chant this many rounds, and now I chant hardly 1 or 2 rounds. And I've seen devotees falling down, sannyasis falling down, gurus falling down. He says, what is this? Why is it happening? He says, chanting purifies, but I don't see it. So this kind of doubts come, because in the beginning we put faith, we follow the process, but then we don't see the effect. And then doubts come. Some people have the doubt, they don't express it. There are others who express it. Some lose faith and leave. So why it happens? If Śāstra is teaching it, then why does it happen? So the main reason is that we don't make a concerted effort to understand the process. In the Upanishad, there is a very important statement by Yajnavalkya Rishi, Atmavare drashtavya shrotavya mantavya nididhyasitavya. So he is teaching this to his wife Maitreyi, that oh Maitreyi, this Atma here means Paramatma Bhagavan. He is to be seen, he is to be realized. And what is the process? So he says first is shrotavya, that first you should hear, study. And then what you have heard or studied, mantavya. You should do manana on that, deliberation, raise questions, try to assimilate the knowledge. And once you have understood, then you do nididhyasana. Then you practice. Nididhyasana means engaging in sadhana. So the problem arises that we hear, it's not that we do not hear, but we do not hear in a systematic manner. It has to be studied. That's why there is so much Śāstra available in our Vedic society, more than any other religion, in any field. You take any field, whether it is bhakti or jnana marg, karma marg, sankhya, yoga, there is so much literature that there is no other religion which has that many literature. Even you take music, Artha Śāstra, Kam Śāstra, there are volumes and volumes available. So, if we have decided to follow a particular path, then we have to study that path properly. It's like we go to school, in the beginning we have basic knowledge which is common to everybody. Everybody studies language, some maths, etc., social sciences. But then as you go further down, you choose a particular discipline in which you want to graduate. So here also there are certain common practices for spirituality, but then to follow a specific path, there are specific things to be done, and they have to be studied. So knowledge we get by seeing, prataksha pramana, by hearing, by inference. There are three major means of acquiring knowledge: by our own sensory perception, 5 of them. We also make inference, because direct perception is only in the present. That's its limitation. You cannot get any knowledge of the past or future by direct perception. So then you have inference, which increases the range of our knowledge, and then beyond that is the Shabda. And Shabda can give us knowledge which no other process can give. So that is what is Śāstra. Because our senses and then all other processes except for Shabda Pramana is based on Prataksha only. So that is very limited, because our senses itself are limited. They cannot know something which is beyond sense perception. So how do we get knowledge of something which is beyond sense perception? For that there is Śāstra. But Śāstra is an ocean, so many things in that. So that's why we need to approach a teacher, Acharya. Acharya means that only, that he gives you the essence, means he guides you. Achinoti Sarva Śāstra. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavatam that he has propagated 3 main paths. So yoga strayo maya proktan nirnam shreya viditsaye jnanam karma cha bhaktista na payo anyasti kutrachit. says that I have propagated 3 paths: Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, and there are no other paths. And out of that, Bhakti Yoga is the supreme path. And that's what we are on. But Bhakti is transcendental. We all know that Bhakti is not material. And if it is not material, then it cannot be acquired by our material experience. So therefore, Śāstra is the only pramana for this. Without Śāstra, it is not possible to know what is Bhakti. But unfortunately, people come to the path of Bhakti and then they argue against Śāstra. I have faced this problem for 40 years. Because they are saying, why we have to study so much? Just chant. But if I ask the person that from where did you learn about chanting? Did it come from Śāstra or it came from outside Śāstra? The importance that we give to chanting, and we say that Krishna's name is non-different from him. So this knowledge comes from Śāstra or it comes from elsewhere? So obviously it comes from Śāstra. So then if it comes from Śāstra, why are we so much against studying that very Śāstra which has given us this knowledge? Or does that Śāstra say that only take this knowledge and don't need anything else? No, it is not like that. And if that is true, why is that our acharyas, and in every field the acharyas have written so many books? They should simply say just chant. You don't need anything. Everything will be revealed by chanting. Right? People say like that. But how many people have got that revelation? Show me one person. So this is because whatever we don't want to do, we find a rationalization for that. So that I don't feel guilty. Then I feel comforted that I'm not doing anything wrong. Because to study, you have to make some effort. It is much easier that I hear from here and there, and then I also start speaking and start preaching. So the first step for anyone, for any sadhaka on this path is to learn. This is what Rupa Goswami says when he is listing the limbs of bhakti. What does he say? He says, Guru Padashraya Tasmat Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. That you take shelter of Guru, and then people say, well, I take shelter of Guru, but why do you take shelter of Guru? For what reason? So Siksha, Guru means teacher. Krishna, he very clearly says, Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. You take Diksha, and Diksha is called initiation in English, rightly. Initiation of what? This is the initiation of your education. Therefore, both words have been put together by Rupa Goswami. It's very interesting that he has not said that Diksha and Shiksha are two separate limbs of bhakti. He has made one word. Guru Padashraya Tasmat Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam. Diksha and Shiksha go together. That is the second part. So this is the second step of bhakti. Taking shelter of Guru and then studying from Guru. And then Vishrambhena Guru Seva. So unfortunately people don't do this, and then they want to advance in bhakti. So how is this possible? I don't understand. I fail to understand. That it gives you that you want to go to the highway which will take you to Krishna, and here is the process. You take this road first, then you take that road, and there are many other roads, but you don't take the very first one. In fact, Guru Padashraya itself is not really done. People don't even understand what is Padashraya. Diksha they take, yes, but Shiksha, my experience is that no. Because Shiksha does not mean that you hear one class morning, one person is giving, and another day hear another class from somebody. Siksha means you study, just like you go to school and you study every day, you have education. You attend class, you have a book and you study from the same teacher. It's not one day this teacher, another day another teacher, another day. One day you are also teacher. So teacher, student, you don't know who is teacher, who is student. So it is not just some kind of formality. It's a process. So Diksha simply means that you got admitted to the school and then your Shiksha begins. But we think that if I have taken Diksha, that's it. So why take Diksha if you don't want to take Shiksha? But it is because it is not taught like that. It's not the mistake of the people. The newcomers are not taught like that. And then they themselves revolt against it. When I speak like this, people say, no, this is not. Why you speak? So you are the only one? No, it's not I am the only one. I am speaking what Shastra is saying. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jigyasu shreya uttamam. Shabde pareta nishnatam. Tatra bhagavatan dharman shikshayat guru atma daivata. Very clearly stated that you should study Bhagavad Dharma, which is bhakti, Guru Atma Daivata, from the Guru who is your Atma and who is your Devata. And then only Hari is pleased. Amaya anuvritya, do service without cheating propensity. And yai tushed atma atma do Hari. It is by that Hari is pleased. So Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, not for Arjuna's sake. Arjuna has no problem. Krishna is driving the chariot of Arjuna. How can Arjuna have confusion? He spoke it for us, not for everyone else. So it is important to understand this. And those who understand, then they think that I can study Shastra myself. That is another thing. Most people are not interested in studying. And if they study so that they can preach to others. That is not the purpose of studying. The simple process is janati, ichhati, yatate, karoti. That you want to attain. You have a goal, you have a prayojan, you have understood. Everybody understands the prayojana, the purpose is to attain Krishna prema. So if I have to achieve something, I have to act for that. If I have to act, I have to understand how to act. Suppose I am hungry, and then I know that my hunger will be satisfied if I eat food. So then I want food. So either I buy food, I get food, or I cook food. If I have to cook food to attain food, if that is the only choice available, then I have to know how to cook. For that I have to study, I have to acquire knowledge. So knowledge precedes action. And if I am only acting without proper knowledge, then my action will be not proper. And when action is not proper, then you cannot expect proper result. This is the simple equation. So proper knowledge, proper desire. We desire, goal means the object of my desire. That also has to be proper. I may be desiring something wrong. I may think that I want Krishna prema, but I may be mixing so many things with it. So anyabhilashita sunyam also has to be there. Then I have to understand what is anyabhilasha. Otherwise I may have desire for Krishna prema and I also have desire for something else. It will not work. Sarva dharman parityajya. Everything else has to be given up. Anyabhilashita sunyam. It has to be devoid of. So then I have to know which are desires which are anya, which are other, which don't form the part of bhakti. That has to be studied. If I don't study that, I may be harboring some other desires unknowingly or knowingly. So then I will not, and then we have to avoid things which go against it. So for every process, there are certain things which are conducive to the goal, to the object to be attained, and there are certain things which are harmful, which are obstacles to the path. So then I have to also know that anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. So I have to know what is anukul and what is pratikul. And that can be known only from Śāstra, because this is a matter of Śāstra. It cannot be known by my own thinking. So people also argue, but why is like this, why is like that? No, study Śāstra, what Śāstra is saying, because this is an outcome of Śāstra. So even Brahma studied. Brahma, who is the first person, so he also studied. Bhagavan Brahma Karsnena Trin Anviksha Manishaya Tadadhasya Kutastho Ratiratmano Yato Bhavet. Brahma studied the Vedas 3 times. He got the Vedas, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya. But after that he studied it. So of course his guru is Narayana, Krishna himself. But he has great manisha, and then he concluded that the process is by which you attain rati for Krishna, Kutastha. So even a person like Brahma studied. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad there is a story that Narada Rishi, he goes to the Kumaras and he tells Bhagavaham Adhyami, please teach me, I want to study from you. So Sanat Kumara asks, what is that you already know? Now he gives a big list. He says, I have studied Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, Athar Veda, Purana, Itihasa, Chanda, Vyakarana. All these things, he gives a big list. I have studied Kalpa, Jyotis, all that. And still he wants to study. There is one sloka from Madhvacharya. I just wrote it down. He says, Shravanadi vinakshanam tishthed kvachit atya shakyetu nidrado punareva samacharet. He says, don't spend even one moment without studying, without hearing. Shravanadi vina kshanam api na tishthed kvachit. And he says, what about sleeping? He says, Nidra adautu ashakya. He says, of course, when you sleep, you cannot do it. He says, then you are not able. But once you wake up, then do it again. So it's amazing. I am surprised that he writes like that. Because he knows the importance of Śāstra. If we do not study Śāstra, then our life will be guided by our material experiences, which we all have. And if we do not study from teacher, then also we will study it according to our material samskaras, material experiences. So we will filter and we will take what matches with my samskaras and we will avoid what does not match. But that is not the way to study. In Mahabharata there is a nice story to depict this. There was this, I think his name was Yamakrita. There was one Brahmana boy, when he was young he did not study. His father was well-to-do, so he got spoiled, he did not study, but then father died and now he has to take care of the affairs and he is not educated. So if a Brahmana in the olden days in India, if he is not educated, then he cannot do business, he cannot do farming, he cannot do anything. Their job is to teach do yajna. So Pathan Pathan, Yajan Yajan, Dan Pratigraha, these are the 6 activities prescribed for Brahmanas. So then he felt, and then on top of that, people were criticizing him. Oh, look at this Brahmana, he doesn't know anything. So he felt embarrassed, and then he thought that I should study now, it's never too late. But now he felt embarrassed that how can I go in this advanced age and now sit with young children and study. So he thought, I will go and do tapasya and I will acquire knowledge of the Śāstra by austerity. So he went to forest, he was doing austerity there. But knowledge does not come like that. So svato jnanam kutah pumsham bhakti vairagyam evacha. Sri Vidura is telling this to Uddhava. He says, svato jnanam kutah pumsam. He says, how is it possible that human beings can get knowledge by themselves? Even studying, even surfing on the internet. He says, no. And then what to speak of bhakti and vairagya? He says, it's not possible. Sri Krishna also says similar statement, anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya atma vedanam svato na sambhavadhanya tattvagyo jnanado bhavet. He also says this, that a living being is conditioned without a beginning, and therefore it cannot have knowledge of self by oneself. He has to approach a tattvagya. As he says in Bhagavad Gita also, Updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So there also he says that he has to approach a tattvagya, anyo tattvagyo jnanado bhavet. So this is what I began with, that we have this faculty that we can transfer knowledge, which is not possible in any other species of life. That's why they do not advance. The way cows are eating now and living, that's how they were when Krishna was here. Right? Same way. And before that also. And it will continue, they don't change. But human beings are not like that. Human beings were, when Krishna was here, they were not living like this. So much change. Why the change in case of human beings? All other species are same. The peacocks were also same as they are now. Monkeys same. They're ready to steal the butter. So because they cannot transfer knowledge, so they don't add on to it. It's just their instinct. According to their species, they function like that. They may adopt and adapt to the circumstances, but that's very minimal. But human beings can change so much in one lifetime. So this is because we have this ability to acquire knowledge. So that's what Sri Krishna is saying, that Sarvam Jnana Plavenaiva Virginam Santarishyasi. That this knowledge is like a boat, and this material world is like an ocean, so you can cross over it by knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. He speaks a lot about jnana, even in Bhagavad Gita. Shraddhavan labte jnanam tatparaya saintendriya. Yesham jnanam tu yesham jnanam tu jnanena atmana. What is that? Jnanena tu yad jnanam yesham nashitam atmana. So where he says that ajnanena avritam jnanam tena muhyanti. So everybody is in moha, in delusion or misunderstanding, and this is removed only by acquiring Shastric Jnana. So therefore Sri Krishna says that this knowledge is most purifying. And that comes through parampara. Evam parampara praptam, imam rajarshaya vidam. So we are fortunate that we have come in contact with the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself and who has given the essence of Śāstra. Because if you come to the Shāstric field, there is so much and you can get totally confused, like Tapan Mishra described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, who approached Mahaprabhu that I've studied so much, what is actually the goal? So that has been given to us. It's like Sri Jiva Goswami has presented us a feast ready-made on a plate. And if we don't eat it, then it's our misfortune. That's all I can say. So he labored hard. Whenever I think how he would have worked, and all other Goswamis, that because there was nothing here when they came to Vrindavan. And then writing books. Other acharyas wrote books, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, but they were living in some cities or places or ashrams. These people came here, there was nothing here. There was not one temple. From where do they get paper to write, to ink, and then where do they store it? And the books, Sri Jiva Goswami had his own library. So how did they manage? And it was not that you can go to the World Book Fair, which we will be going to buy some books. But they have to send people to get copied. I mean, when he's quoting from Madhvacharya or he's quoting from Ramanujacharya, we may think, oh, he is a Siddha Purusha, he knows. It's not like that. These are all imaginations. They also worked hard. They have to send people from here, go to Udupi, go to Srirangam, copy the book, bring it here. Imagine walking all the way, then bringing, then they have to read this. Somebody else is writing, and then people can make mistake while making copies. And then from that they get the essence and then give to us. Now you can go on computer, you can download all kinds of books. Archive.org is there. Everything available. You can Google, you can search. So none of these things were available to them. So if studying Śāstra was not important, why they have to work hard in that circumstances? They also did not have the interest to sell books and make money. Nor did they have any interest that they want to make disciples. Jiva Goswami didn't give Diksha to anybody. Because people may think, well, they did it because they wanted to impress others or nothing like that. They didn't have followers like that. And then they taught. Jiva Goswami not only wrote, then he taught. He produced great teachers. So this is how parampara continues. So he wrote these Sandarbhas, which gives the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the last work of Sri Vyasadeva. And he himself praises it. There he says, Dharma projita kaitvotra parmo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastamatra vastu. He says, here you can know vastav vastu if you are interested. And this is the fruit of tree of the Vedas, Nigam Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. So these are words of Vyasa himself. He wrote so many books for the welfare of humanity. This is one book he wrote for his own satisfaction, because he was not satisfied. After writing this, he became that now my job is complete. So that is the greatness of Bhagavatam. But Bhagavatam is also not easy to understand, because Bhagavatam is teaching what is the ultimate fruit of the Vedas. So that is not easy to understand. So therefore Sri Jiva Goswami, he made it available to us. And he specifically wrote for those people who are interested in becoming Krishna bhaktas. So he says this, Yasri Krishna padam bhoja bhajan ek abhilasman tenaiva drishyatam anyasmai shapto arpita. He says those whose abhilasha, whose wish, whose desire is only to be Krishna bhakta, they should study my book, not others. He says, others, please don't touch it. It's not for you. So he's specifically writing this for us who are interested in becoming Krishna bhakta. And if we don't study it, then how we expect to advance? So studying this is also pleasing to our acharyas, because he wrote these books on the order of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. So people are, saying we are Rupanugas. So then you should study this. How we can become follower of somebody if we don't read their books and know what is their philosophy. So they wrote so many books, including Vyakarana. Every sampradaya has books, but nobody has Vyakarana. So Jiva Goswami also wrote a special grammar for Sanskrit for devotees, for Vaishnavas only, specifically for Vaishnavas. And we neglect all this. So, even if you don't have much time, that is another complaint people have, well, I don't have time. So, Jalbindu nipatena kramsa puriyate ghataha sahetu sarvidyanam dharmasya cha dhanasya cha. So, he says that it's like if there is one drop coming, you put a pot, then gradually the pot will get filled up. So every day learn little bit. And now Sandarbhas are available in English language. Previously they were not translated, and people only who knew Sanskrit could read them, but now they are available. We have made this big effort to produce them into English with explanation. So anyone who is serious, and this is Sri Jiva Goswami's own statement, not my statement. If you want to hear my statement, then I have composed one sloka that, what is that? Yasya nasti brahme bhagavate Sandarbhayena nadhita tasya bhagavate brahma Sandarbhayena chadhita nasti bhagavate shrama. So this I composed maybe 30 years ago. So those who have not studied Sandarbhas, they cannot understand Bhagavatam. This is a fact. One guru, when he read this, he got very upset with me. So how can you say that? Yes, I can say it because I have studied Sandarbhas, and you may become upset, but you cannot refute me. If you don't study Sandarbha, you don't understand Bhagavatam. At least as per the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You say, well, we have other acharyas who have written commentaries. But if you want to understand Bhagavatam the way Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted us to understand, without studying Sandarbhas, it is impossible. But if you have studied Sandarbhas, then the lock of Bhagavatam, the password is with you. Then you can, it's easy, no effort. Otherwise, in the Sanskrit world, there is a famous saying that Vidyavatam Bhagavate Pariksha. That Bhagavatam is the litmus test of one's scholarship. Great Panditas, scholars, they used to write commentary on Bhagavatam. Because it's not easy. When you have to write commentary, you have to bring out one essence of it. Ekvakyata, this is called Ekvakyata. There has to be a Sangati, Adhyaya Sangati, Skandha Sangati, Adhyaya Sangati, Sloka Sangati, Pada Sangati. There should be harmony from beginning to end, not wherever you read, then you explain it, then it contradicts another part. So when you read the Sandarbhas, then you will see the greatness of Sri Jiva Goswami, that how deeply he knew Bhagavatam and he has presented it in such a systematic manner. So these Sandarbhas are the basis of our school of Chaitanya Vaishnavism, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Without knowing this, then there are confusions. All this fall down here, fall down there. We fell from Vaikuntha. This is not our philosophy. Many discrepancies, I don't want to get into that. So this is because we don't study the books of our Acharya. And again, when I say study, you have to study from teacher. Otherwise, there are people who are also studying now and trying to prove the wrong Siddhanta. That is also going on. So, the purpose of parampara is this only. Otherwise, what is the meaning of parampara? So, I will just read one sloka to end it. This is a sloka from Garuda Purana. Vidyanam narasya roopamadhikam prachannam guptam dhanam vidya bhogakari yasha sukkari vidya gurunam guruhu vidya bandhu jano videsha gamne vidya para devata vidya rajasa pujyate natu dhanam vidya vihina pashu. So this is a sloka which is praising education of Śāstra. So he says that Vidya Nam Narasya Rupam Adhikam. Rupam means beauty. He says the beauty of human being is not what people think. He says beauty is education. If education is not there, you may be physically beautiful, but it doesn't have much value. And in the old age, it will not be there. So Vidya Śāstrasya Shastrasya De Vidya Veditavya. That there are two Vidyas, the Vidya of Śāstra and Shastra. So, but in the old age, Shastra Vidya, the weapons, martial art doesn't work, but this remains. So he says Vidya Nam Narasya Rupam Adhikam. So this is the beauty. And Prachannam Guptam Dhanam. And this is the hidden knowledge. Because you have it, you walk around, nobody knows where is it. No one can take it. No one can steal it. No one can say, I have my share in it. If the father dies, then you have the share in the property. But not the knowledge. And Vidya Bhoga Kari, Yasa Sukh Kari. Vidya can give you even material pleasure, it can give you fame, happiness. Vidya Guru Nam Guru. Of all the most heavy things, Guru means also heavy. It is knowledge which is most heavy. And Vidya Bandhu Jano Videsha Gamne. If you travel in the foreign land, then knowledge is your friend. Swadesha Pujyate Raja. Vidwan Sarvatra Pujyate. A king can be respected in his own kingdom, but if he goes to another kingdom, who knows him? Unless he is invited by another king. But if you are a learned person, wherever you go, people respect you. So you are the king of the kings. And Vidya Para Devata. Vidya is the supreme Devata. Vidya Rajasu Pujyate Natu Dhanam. Among the kings also, it is knowledge which is respected, not wealth. That's why they also used to have scholars in their court. And then he gives the top statement, Vidya Vihina Pashu. If you don't have Vidya, then you are an animal walking on two legs. So Vidya Vihina Pashu. So this is what I wanted to say, because talk was about importance of education. So if there's any question, you can ask, otherwise we'll stop.
Very bold. I have a list of questions that are pre-sent to me, but if someone wants to make a question live, please proceed. I don't know how much time do we have, how much more time we have, Babaji.
Well, you can ask, we'll see, no problem.
Okay. So if someone wants to go first, please do, because this list is like of 5-6 questions, so if I start, I will just continue going through them.
Okay, I think you can start. There's no one.
Yeah. So the first question is, if somebody got first initiation, for example, this person got it from Ananda Das Babaji, who left this world in the meantime, should this person look to proceed with another guru or with a second initiation and continue studying? So how should this person proceed in life when guru leaves?
So Sri Jiva Goswami discusses this also in Sandarbhas. He says if guru leaves and one does not feel that one has learned enough to continue without further education, then one should find another guru who is aligned with one's own guru and study and take help from that. That's the recommendation.
The second question is, what are the main differences in tattva between ISKCON Gaudiya Math and traditional Parivaras? Would it be possible to explain this in short, or would it be possible to maybe give another lecture on this topic?
No, I will not speak on this topic because this becomes controversy and I don't want controversy. I have no problem whatever one believes in. I am already criticized, although I don't speak on any controversial things. I teach Śāstra, and if it comes I speak, but I don't do this kind of talks. I'm sorry for that.
Next one is there a Shastric explanation why some jivas are conditioned within material energy and some are ever liberated, nitya siddhas? And what is the reason for this difference?
So this is a question which assumes that conditioning has a beginning. If it does not have a beginning, then there cannot be any reason, because reason signifies a beginning. If I ask you, what is the reason that Krishna is Swam Bhagavan? So that means I'm assuming that he was not Swam Bhagavan one day and he became because of some reason. But when we say that he is an Adir Adir Govinda, then there cannot be any reason for that. So in the existence, there are certain things which have a reason. And by reasoning, it also implies that there must be certain things which do not have a reason. That's also logic. Logic says that things have cause and effect relationship, but the same logic, if you extend, would also say that there must be certain things which are beyond cause effect, otherwise there will be infinite regress. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, it must stop somewhere. So wherever it stops, that would not have a cause for it. And that is Krishna. That's why you say that he is Anadi and he is Adi. He does not have a beginning, which implies has a cause for himself, but he is the cause of everything, Sarva Karana Karanam. So Sarva Karana Karanam cannot have a cause, otherwise he is not Sarva Karana Karanam. So he has three types of energies, Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga and Tatastha, which everyone knows. Since he has no cause, his energies also have no cause. Otherwise it would appear that some energies came later on. So therefore all his energies are also beginningless. So Tatastha Shakti is also beginningless. And that Tatastha Shakti has got two divisions. One is of Nitya Muktas, another of Nitya Baddhas. So both are causeless.
The next question is related to Tatastha Shakti. So it says, in our understanding, Tatastha Shakti cannot exist separately from either internal or external potency. Is this good understanding? It means it cannot function without.
Tatastha Shakti has got some potential in it. And the major potential which it has is Kartritva, Bhoktritva, Gyatritva. Means potential to act, potential to know, and potential to experience. But these potentials become practical or manifest only with the help of a body, not without. The pure Atma has only the potential, but cannot actualize them. So the actualization happens with the help of body, and body can be material or spiritual. So therefore it will be expressed either when there is a material body or there is a spiritual body. Otherwise you are like in Brahman, then there is no action, no knowing, nothing. It remains in its potential state.
And the final question from the list is, how should one deal with confusion? For example, when Rahu has the influence in your chart.
So what is the confusion? Because confusion is a confusing word. You have to express your confusion to somebody and remove it. If you simply say how to remove confusion, then you have to tell what is the confusion. Confusion is just a general term.
Yeah, this is how the question was sent, so if person wants to speak up, feel free to.
Okay, anybody else? So I can take question from the audience here since no one is speaking from your side. Okay, give the mic.
Hare Krishna, Satyanarayana Prabhu.
Yeah, yes.
Keshav Das, I was in Gurukul when you were a teacher in Vrindavan. I was in the ashram of Guru Prabhu.
Can you turn on your video?
I'm trying to connect. I don't know why it's not.
Okay.
Somehow it's not letting the video to be.
Yeah, it shows that there is, but it's a new laptop, so it's not properly set up. Sorry, but I can try on the phone also, but you can talk.
Okay, you can speak.
Yeah, so it's nice to see you, and after very, very, very long. I don't know if you remember me. I was.
That's why I said turn on your video. Okay. Anyway, I'm happy to hear your voice.
Yeah, Mother. Here I am. Okay.
I'll start my video here.
Oh, there we go. The video is good. Here you go.
Okay, it was sent first.
Okay, there you go. Can you see me?
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's demonstrated.
Or maybe we can proceed with questions, and when the video starts working, we can go back.
Okay.
So you have any question to ask, Kesavaji?
No, not much.
Okay.
It's just a surprise to see because my wife's brother, his name now Volko Hasadasan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's a brother of my wife, and she said, "Oh, Satyanarayana Prabhu." Then I said, "Oh, who is this?" Then of course, after hearing the name, I said, oh yeah, I know him. He was my teacher in Bhagavad Gita in the Gurukul. Well, I was in the ashram with Kurumarupa Prabhu as the ashram teacher. And so I said, let me see his face. So I see and I see that it's a different, completely different form now. It's nice to see.
Okay, nice to hear your voice. Yes.
Question: Jaya and Vijaya fell from Vaikuntha. Is it considered as a proof that Jiva can fall from Vaikuntha?
No, they did not fall from Vaikuntha. This is a misunderstanding. They were cursed to come here for 3 births and then go back. It's not a fall down. Fall down means then you come and now you're just left here, like you drop something. But it was just the curse of the Kumaras, and they have to be here for 3 births. And if you read Sandarbhas, that's why I keep on saying read Sandarbhas, then Jiva Goswami says that it was also external. In Bhagavatam itself says when Bhagavan Vishnu came out and then Kumaras left, then he says that you go, ma bhastam batam tume, that do not fear, go, nothing will happen to you. It is my wish. Otherwise Kumaras cannot curse the gatekeepers of Bhagavan who are equally powerful like him. So as good as cursing Vishnu. So just as Vishnu cannot fall down, if Jaya and Vijaya can fall down, means Vishnu can fall down. You think like that. There is expansions, It's like if Balram can fall down, or Subal, or Madhumangal, some friend of Krishna can fall down. It's as good as if Krishna is going to fall down. It's impossible. So this is just part of his Leela. He had the wish to fight. Who is going to fight with him? So they took the role. So they are only externally inimical. Internally they were devotees. They did not get a material body. Their spiritual body was intact. Just like you take a part in a play and you put on a mask. You don't change inside. Change is only in the dress. And this thing came recently even in Preeti Sandarbha class. It was also discussed in Krishna Sandarbha. So to call that they fell down is misunderstanding. Yes.
Pranam Babaji Maharaj. Today morning class you were telling about Śāstra has to be done adhyayan and then it has to be experienced by internalization. So will that experience, studying we can do as our little effort, but how will that experience come? Will it come because of mercy of Guru, mercy of Krishna, or some events taking place in your life to practically realize whatever you have studied by the mercy of Lord? I want to understand how.
So mercy of Lord does not mean that you sit in the house and mercy will come. Mercy will come, we have to act. So what you study, then you follow that, put it into your life, then mercy will come. So shrotavya, mantavya, nididhyasitavya. So as Krishna is saying, ma manusmara tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. Says remember me and fight. So means remember me and continue performing your duty. So then mercy will come. Can you give backside? There. You can take the mic. There's another mic you can give to him. You don't have another mic? Yes, please.
Pranam Babaji. We just had a question. I understand that, the Jivatma is the Tatastha Shakti, the intermediate Shakti of the Lord. But there are different types. You got some Jivatmas which are liberated, meaning eternally liberated, so they are eternal associates of the Lord. And those which are bonded. So our question was, what determines who is eternally liberated and an eternal associate of the Lord, versus those who go through this perpetual cycle of birth and death until they attain some sort of mercy? What has determined that classification, despite both being Tatastha Shakti?
What determines the classification is those who are in the spiritual world, they are the Nitya Muktas. And we are all here. So those who are under the influence of Bhairanga Shakti, they are the conditioned ones. And the other ones who are not, they are the liberated ones. So they don't come here. They remain in the abode of Bhagavan.
And who has decided that?
So this question I recently just asked, maybe you did not hear the answer.
Oh, sorry.
I said that when you say who decides it, who will be where, you are assuming that this process has a beginning. Right? But it does not have a beginning. The people who are here, they are here without any beginning. Their conditioning does not have a beginning. This is a misunderstanding that once upon a time we were free and then we became conditioned. We are conditioned without beginning. That is called Anadi Baddha, or sometimes Nitya Baddha. Anadi Avidya Yukta. Sri Krishna uses this word in Bhagavad Gita also. Prakriti Pursaucha Vidya Nadau Bhavapi. So this conditioning of all the living beings within material world has no beginning. So therefore there is no question of who decides it. It's little hard to understand it because we are quite used to think in cause and effect relationship. And this is exactly what I was saying, that there are certain things which are beyond cause and effect. So if you apply cause and effect relation to them, it won't work because they don't have. So what I said, that why Krishna is Swam Bhagavan. So there is no answer to why to this, because it's not like that. So the reality has to be just known and accepted. Because reality does not have a cause. It's causeless. The reality is one tattva, vadanti tat tattvadas, tattvam is jnanam advayam, brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. That is the reality. And it doesn't have a cause. So it has to be just understood. That's why we need Śāstra. If you could understand it with cause and effect, then science is good enough. That's what science is doing. Science is working on the principle of cause and effect. It's always trying to find what is the cause of this, what is the cause of this. But this cause and effect has to stop somewhere. Otherwise there will be no end to it. So where it stands, that is the tattva. That is Krishna. So only after that you can talk of cause and effect. So Tatastha Shakti is also his Shakti. He is causeless, his Shakti is also causeless. It has to be. Otherwise you are making a distinction between him and his Shakti as two different entities.
Thank you, Babaji.
Maharaj, the main aim of Diksha is to gain Shiksha. And even Jiva Goswami, he didn't actually give Diksha, but he wrote a lot of scriptures, he gave a lot of Shiksha, and like our parampara is based on his main teachings only. So, but Maharaji, where does the importance of having a actual Diksha Guru and having Diksha Mantra is important, or its only main cause is to gain Shiksha? I'm not able to understand.
I think it is better if you can frame your question in one sentence, because I don't know what's your question. You are saying the purpose of Diksha is to have Shiksha, and then what is the question?
That's
so what is the question then? If its purpose is to get Shiksha, then what is your question?
Then what is the importance of actually having a Diksha Guru and getting a Diksha initiation? If
you go to a college Can you just start? You were in a college, right, in Hyderabad? So did you go to the class without actually getting a formal entrance in the college, paying the fee and registering yourself as a student?
Yeah, that is correct. But like,
So that is the Diksha.
but like even like we are coming and we are listening, we are getting
You
Siksha
can
from.
do that, but you are asking what is the purpose of Diksha was that formally you go to a teacher and you make a contract that I am accepting you as my teacher, I want to study from you. It's like you go to a college.
Yeah, I got it. We make a formal contract, but like that contract is not as necessary here, because like we can come and we can take Siksha and
So then don't take.
then
And Shiksha is telling to take Diksha, so you don't take Shiksha then. So this is the problem. This is exactly what I'm saying, that when you don't have a guru, then you will only use your mind and twist the meaning of Shastra. The very Shastra which you want to study, which you are coming here to study, that very Shastra is saying that take Diksha. I'm repeating that only. So that part you don't want to accept. So what Siksha will you take?
yeah, I understood. Maharaj, like I have two more questions I had. Maharaj, I'm not able to recognize the difference between studying the Shastra, like scrutinizing the Shastra through Bhakti Marg and through Jnana Yoga. Like, because even in Jnana Yoga we have to really go very deep into studying the Shastras. Na?
So if you want to recognize that, you have to understand what is Gyan Marg. Their goal is Brahman, and Bhakti Marg goal is Bhagavan. So therefore when they study it with that interest or that understanding of the Shastra. And when we study it with the understanding that everything is rooted in Bhagavan, including Brahman.
Yeah, understood. Maharaj, another question I had was ki, we say ki without knowledge we are just animals, which is very true. But there are animals in Shastras like jinka who are liberated through just surrender. Maybe they were somebody in past life here and there, but there are a lot of examples where animals are liberated through just surrendering and like without actually like properly studying Shastras. Like how can
Give
we
me one
understand?
example.
Okay, we can say Gajendra, but again he was the king in the last. So
Otherwise,
then,
how could he surrender?
yeah.
Why is that only Gajendra surrendered and all other family members, nobody surrendered?
Yeah, because of that.
So therefore he was an educated
there
Gajendra.
are like other animal like that squirrel also who did seva during the.
So he must have story like that. Otherwise, why that other squirrels did not do this?
Yes, but like those, there are so many such stories where animals are liberated. So does it like isn't
So
Shastra?
you are saying that which is better to remain animal or what?
No, but
So they have their past life. That's what I'm saying. That when you see examples like this, that is because of their past life, where they have studied. There are also some human beings or some great saints who may not have studied Shastra. Then it is understood that they have studied it in past life. It's like Jad Bharat. He did not study. He didn't want to study because he has already studied and he remembers that. So those are not examples for us to follow. Those are examples for us to understand the power of bhakti. When stories are given in Shastra like this, you have to also understand what is the purpose behind it. This is exactly what I'm saying. People study Shastra, and when you don't study properly, then you will twist the meaning to suit you. Because then you say, well, I don't need it, because look, this guy did not have a guru. Gajendra did not have a guru, the squirrel did not have a guru, etc. This is what People give arguments like that. So try it and let me see if something happens.
No, I can't.
Yes.
A follow-up from the same person who raised the question about Jaya and Vijaya. If jivas in the material world didn't come from Vaikuntha, where did they come from? And why are they created?
You see, the simple, unless you understand that they are not created. In Bhagavad Gita itself, that's why we should at least study Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna says that the Jiva or Atma is neither created nor destroyed. So one of the very first and most basic teaching of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, na jayate mriyate vakajati. He is not created. Atma is not a created thing. And he has not come from anywhere else. So this question, this is a wrong question. If you know that Atma is not created, then what is the point in asking when was he created, why was he created? It's not created. Krishna has 3 types of energies. So are these energies created? Krishna is beginningless, so his energies are beginningless or not beginningless? Beginningless. Otherwise, once upon a time he is without energy. Then how he will be without energy? And if he was without energy once upon a time, how did he create it? Because he has no energy. How can he create? So he is not created and his energies are also not created. They are all eternal. And in case of Tatastha Shakti, there are 2 groups which are eternally liberated and eternally conditioned. So if they are eternally conditioned, eternally here means without a beginning, because eternally means usually that which has no beginning and no end. So conditioning has no beginning, but it can have an end. So then this question cannot be asked, when was created, how did it happen? It did not happen. It's this how it is. Otherwise I ask you, when did Krishna become Swayam Bhagavan? Why you don't ask this question? So somebody asks you, you'll say, what nonsense. You don't understand the simple thing that he is beginningless. It is the same thing. Just as Krishna is beginningless, all jivas are beginningless. As old as Krishna is, that old we are. He is not more older than us. We are equally old. We are friends. Bhavasapurna savija sakhaya samana vriksham parisasva jate. He says, like 2 friends sitting on the one tree branch. So we have been friends eternally. Think about it, it's a new concept. Not a new concept, but a new concept for those who have been hearing that we fell down from Vaikuntha. So it's very difficult to adjust to this.
Maharaj, like one more question. Sorry.
Some people, Babaji, they become dissatisfied with the fact that the jivas are conditioned without a beginning.
So what will satisfy them?
Yeah, so they feel that the concept of falling from Vaikuntha, at least, there's some kind of a reason behind it. Okay, you have free will, you decided, you chose, and whatever. But the idea that no, it's just been like that, because then because they want to find some cause for this, and then if it's like, oh, how can Krishna become so merciless that he's making some are like eternally liberated and the others are all.
Yeah, but where is he
condemned?
making? Why you bring this thing? I'm saying he's not making. All these questions assume that Jiva, its conditioning, has a beginning. It's just you're trying to twist it this way, that way, put it in another words, but conclusion is that you are not willing to accept that it has no beginning. And now for that, we must adjust all the Śāstra so that you feel satisfied. But your satisfaction has no meaning or no value, because then you miss the goal. you feel satisfied, then you will remain satisfied here. Because you are actually going against Śāstra. This is also one of the offense. To misinterpret Śāstra is also an offense.
Pranam Babaji. I'm just trying to understand the logic, not the point here. If something doesn't have a beginning, how can it have an end? That conditioning getting end when we get realized. So because Krishna Swayam Bhagavan nature will not end. It doesn't have a beginning, it doesn't have an end. Atma doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end. So similarly, our conditioning doesn't have a beginning. However, conditioning has an end. Just on the logic part, nothing against the point.
So logic part is like this, that if there is, suppose you want to cook sweet rice. So before you cook sweet rice, is sweet rice existing? No. Because if it was existing, you won't cook it. Now if I ask you, since when this sweet rice is not existing, can you say? Some time? It has no beginning. The absence of the sweet rice which you are going to cook has no beginning. But when you cook it, that comes to an end. So it had no beginning, but it has an end.
Thank you, Babaji.
Maharaj, like again, one question which is very much arising is ki, you answered it last time, but like there's the counter, like one more thing which came in my mind.
Speak it.
Yeah. So yes. So I had asked ki how can we actually find if a guru is actually real, like he's actually devoted towards Krishna, because
take Guru meter.
Yeah. Yeah, so that Guru meter is through how much he's following Shastras,
Yes.
which you said. But like Maharaj, like even Shankaracharya like followed a lot of Shastras, and he gave a lot of examples to Shastras. So it's the thing, like Shastra can give you whatever you want, right? Like that person, whoever. So how will we understand ki, there are so many people who are actually following Shastra, but like which is correct for us is how to understand. Like Krishna will, then there is ki Krishna will give that inspiration if we pray to Krishna. But then again the thing is ki when we pray and we pray and we pray, how do we know ki that is the inspiration given by Krishna, or that is our mind only saying something?
So just as when you want to study and you want to get admission in a university, how do you know that which university is good?
Maharaj, that is so.
So here also same.
No, but
there's nothing. No, there's no difference.
That is because like how famous it is or how much fees
Yeah,
it
so
is
same
costing.
here. Famous for what? For education.
Yeah, but then how much?
So here also you have to see who is famous for education. Not just famous. The university is famous for what?
Yeah, but
for education, right?
Yes, but matlab my question was ki there are famous people who all of them follow Shastras, but they.
So give me few names. You're just saying like that. Tell me few names.
No.
Tell me. Be practical now.
Okay.
You're just giving hypothetical
I
question.
was saying like Shankaracharya.
Shankaracharya doesn't exist now. It's not an example. Tell me now. Why you're saying Shankaracharya, this Charya? They don't exist. So it's not a choice for you that you can go and learn from Shankaracharya.
No, but there are some people from his.
Yeah, give me few names. That's what I'm saying. You're just making a question, so I'm also asking you to give a practical solution.
Maharaj, I don't.
So if you don't know, then there is no point in asking this. Either you have a few. It's like as if you have name of 10 universities, and then you're trying to find out which is a good university. Now you don't have the name of any university, and then you come to somebody who is actually in some particular university. How do I know which university is good? So he will ask you, give me few names which you are trying to consider, And you say, well, really speaking, I don't have any names. So what is he going to reply to you?
But not having names doesn't mean ki they don't exist now. Matlab.
So if they exist, tell me. Ultimately, you are going to go and check,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you don't have anybody in mind, what is the point in me speaking to you? If you don't have any one person in mind, what is the point?
No, I have I was thinking ki there is Rambhadracharya ji also.
Yeah.
There is.
So now do you want to be a devotee of Ram or you want to be a devotee of Krishna? Tell me.
I don't mind any.
So then go to Rambhadracharya.
But it's not ki, no, it's not ki, it's just ki I don't mind any avatar. Like I don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. First decide what you want to be. Do you want to be a devotee of Ram or you want to be a devotee of Krishna? So Rambhadracharya is a devotee of Ram. Forget about devotee of being Krishna with him. He is Sampradaya. He is in Ramananda Sampradaya. So it's very clear. So he's good. You go and study from him if that's your goal. Your problem is solved. Yeah, after all, you are asking me a question and I'm replying to you.
No, it's not ki like I want to. I have interest in Ram or I have interest in only in Krishna or Ram. But what I'm saying is there are so many different branches, and how do we know which is the most?
Because you don't want to know, so there is no problem. You don't want to know, so therefore you will not know. The practical truth is that you are not interested in it. Otherwise, why are you speaking like this? You are not even able to answer me. You want to be a devotee of Ram or Krishna, I cannot say. And then you are going on so many branches. So then go on trying some branches where and see who fits you. That's the only way. Either you have to give me the names, then I can tell. If you don't give me the names, this is the way. When I came to Vrindavan, I wanted to study. I also went to different teachers. I did that. So you do that. Okay, I think we should stop now. All right. Thank you.